Hi everyone. I am here to discuss the types of speeches according to purpose, which is the first one is informative or expository speech, the second one is persuasive speech, and the third one is entertainment speech. Informative speech, this serves to provide interesting and useful information to the audience. Informative speech based on the informative, so it gives information, facts to the audience. Generally, there are four types of speeches. The first one is speech about objects or people. The second one is speech about processes. The third one is speech about events. And the last one is speech about concepts. So discuss the speech about objects or people. So the speech about objects and people, this focuses on the tangible items like gadgets, products, structures, or people. Visual aids may be necessary. Then I have specific examples here and purposes. First one is yourself, to inform audience about your background, interests, or ambitions. So I have here next is new phone model, to inform the audience about the features and capabilities of this new model. So next we have here speech about processes. This focuses on the process or sequence of events. Visual aids are necessary. So I have here specific examples and purposes so that you can understand what speech about processes is. So number one, we have here first aid, to inform the audience about how first aid for an ankle sprain is administered. Next is photographer, to inform the audience about how to take good pictures. Next I have here, or lastly, is web design, to inform the audience about how basic web designs are created. So that's speech about processes. Then we have here speech about events. This focuses on an event that happened, is happening, or might happen in the future. So I have here some examples again so that you can understand what speech about events is. So first is martial law, to inform the audience about the impact of martial law on economy and politics. Next we have here accident, to inform the audience about the details surrounding a car accident. Then lastly we have here a zombie invasion, to inform the audience about the possibility of zombie invasion. So it's more like happened, or like what I've said earlier, that happened, is happening, or might happen in the future. And lastly, we have here speech about concepts. This focuses on beliefs, knowledge, theories, principles, or ideas. So I have here again specific examples and purposes. First one is the Big Bang Theory, to inform the audience about the development of this Big Bang Theory. Next, I have here public-private partnership, to inform the audience about the advantages and disadvantages of PPP. And lastly, we have here feminism, to inform the audience about the feminist perspective on the patriarchal state of the country. So let's proceed to the next, which is organizational patterns. An informative speech can follow different patterns of organization to arrange and frame the details effectively. First, we have here chronological patterns. This can be used if you want to present history, evolution, development, or new topics, sequential order from past to present or happening in the end. Then, chronological pattern is more like what happened in the past and what is happening right now. It's like you compare what happened last year or what happened in this year. It's more like that. Example outline of the chronological pattern. First, we have introduction and attention getter. This is statement and main point. Next, we have the body. The outline here is step A, year A first. Step B, year B second. Step C, year C and third. And lastly, step D, year D fourth or final. So next, we have here the conclusion, summary of points, memorable statement.
Spatial or topical or categorical pattern. Spatial and topical or categorical pattern is categorized as different patterns, however both have the same uses. A spatial pattern of organization arranges information according to how things fit together in physical space, where one thing exists in relation to another. This pattern works will win a writer wishes to create a mental picture of something which was various parts distinguished by physical location. Topic involving geography and, for example, are often best organized using a spatial pattern. While topical pattern is the most commonly used format and will typically work when the other patterns do not. A topical patterns arranges information according to different subtopics within a larger topic or the types of things that fall within a larger category. Using this pattern, each type represents a main section of information. This can be used if you want to inform your audience about the main features and description or categorize of your topic. Example of outline. First, introduction. First, attention getting. Second, thesis, statement, and main point. Second, Introduction. Attention getter. This is statement and main point stating the dominating effect or an event of phenomena. Body, cause A, effect A, cause B, effect B, cause C, effect C. Conclusion, summary of the points. Memorable statement. Letter D. A compare and contrast essay present similarities and difference between two subject items or topics. You may either examine the features of the two subjects without making any judgment, or you may point out advantage and or disadvantage of each with the intention of making a choice between them. Comparative essay may discuss similarities or difference arranged in the order the writer causes. This can be used if you want to compare object, event, or concept, underscoring their similarities and differences. There are two basic methods or style of organizing a compare and contrast essay. With the subject by subject or block method, you address each subject in separate paragraphs. If you have selected the subject by subject method for your essay, the body will consist of several pairs of paragraphs. In the point by point method, you examine one aspect of the one subject and the same aspect of the second subject within the same paragraph. If you have selected the point by point method for your essay, the body should consist of minimum of 3 paragraphs. Thank you.
Definition of persuasive speech. Persuasive speaking is the form of communication that people of diverse background mostly engaging this kind of speech can center on any arguably interesting topic under the sun. When you delivered your persuasive speech, your primary goal is to influence the thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors or attitudes of your listeners. Gumble and Gumble 2012. Likewise, you also aim to change her perception and convince them that your argument is more important, particular, attainable, or feasible, and incense you as a persuasive speaker. Advocate for wherever your message is. Qualities of an effective persuasive speech. Qualities number 1. Well-defined goal. What is your specific goal in mind? Do you expect your audience to think differently, act differently, or both after they listen to your speech? Number 2. Clear main point. Is the main point of your speech clear to you? It is specific and focused. Number 3. Sufficient supporting ideas. Do you have actual statement, reliable source, or solid evidence to support your main point? Do you have enough number of supporting statement? Number 4. Logical reasoning. Concrete reasons why your listener should support your ideas. How will you state your argument? Will you use any of the following? Will you use any following? Deductive, general evidence to specific. Inductive, specific evidence to general. Casual, cause and effect, or vice versa. Analogy, compare to things or situation. Number 5. Effective powerful ways to gain the attention of your audience. Do you use of the following effective techniques to grab the attention of your listeners and engage them in your speech? Powerful and relevant question. Striking at statics, shocking incident, memorable accident notes, foremost observation or experience. Number 6. Compelling ideas to make your target audience feel and think. Do you appeal to your listeners' needs? Do you appeal to your listener hearts? Number 7. Silent movement to target the silent needs of your audience. Do you motivate your audience by incorporating ideas and thoughts important to their growth and development as individual? Types of persuasive speech. Number 1. Speech as question fact. This type question, the extent of particular event or happening. In this case, the persuasive speaker pose question or fact. Devise conclusion from different source of information and attempt to convince the audience to believe in his her ideas. The declaration of cybercrime law is unconstitutional. Purpose. Persuade my listener that cybercrime law is unconstitutional. Main point. The provision of all bills of rights in the Constitution values freedom of speech. Supporting idea. Article 3, Section 4 of the Constitution states that no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, the freedom of press, and the cognate rights of individuals and groups within our society. Hence, any law agent freedom of speech has no meaning to the state provision. Number 2. Speech that's question value. This type focus on questions of value regarding topics on the self, family, friendship, religion, government, freedom, love, and any among others. In this case, the persuasive speaker 1 makes a statement or claim. 2. Attempt to convince his or her audience why something or someone is worthy of emulation. And 3. Justifies and based on standard. The state or government should not revive the death penalty because it remains an unjustifiable purpose. Persuade your listeners that over the years the death penalty is unjustifiable. In point, there is no reason for the state to revive the death penalty. Supporting idea. The Philippines still has problems with the justice system. In fact, the president himself acknowledge this reality. According to one reporting, Aquino said the country's justice system is far from perfect, citing case of innocent people found guilty of crimes only because they are unable to hire good lawyers. Porcala 2014 para 3. Number 3, speech that question policy. This type question is current state of things which can impact the future. In this case, the persuasive speaker has relevant questions that can help in making a decision on whether or not something should be implemented, observed, or done. The state of government should protect lesbians, gay, bisexual, and transgender, transsexual, LGBT community in any workplace or office. Purpose. Persuade your listener that the LGBT community should be protected from discrimination. Main point, LGBT members deserve to be protected by the state agent discrimination in any workplace of office. Supporting idea, there have been horrible reports and cases of discrimination at work in terms of promotion and benefits. Hence, there is a need to implement a policy related to this. Number 4, speech that refutes. This type either respond to or disprove the claims of other while defending and promoting own claims. A good example of this type persuasive speech is the debate. In this case, the persuasive speaker has to carefully plan his argument to have logical and convincing response. This is achieved by gathering credible and accurate pieces of device through extensive research. Do you disagree with foreign media report dubbing the Philippines has the worst country to visit? Purpose, to persuade your listener that there is no truth to the claim of foreign media. The Philippines is not a good place for vacation. Main point, the Philippines is an attractive and sought-after country. Supporting ideas statistics from the Department of Tourism showing massive increase in international tourists every year, and travel blogs reporting the Philippines as the top destination in Asia are two reasons why this country remains of the most attractive place in the world.
Organizational patterns. The following are some of suggested patterns that you can use when you organize your persuasive speech. Number 1, AFOREST. Anecdotes, facts, and figures, opinions, rhetorical questions, emotive language, and superlative and tripling. Below are the rules applying these patterns. Anecdotes. Begin with your speech with a personal story, observation, or experience. Number 2, facts and figures. Provide striking statistics that can support your ideas. Number 3, opinion. Add in your opinion. You can begin your statement with I believe that. Number 4, rhetorical questions. Think of and add engage rhetorical questions, like i.e. question which do not intend to click answers and instead use to make a point. Number 5, emotive language. Appeal to your audience emotions. Number 6, superlative. Use superlative to exaggerate an ideas. Number 7, tripling. The role of the 3 in the English writing principles simply entails using the 3 words together to reinforce your point. Number 2, organize your persuasive speech. Number 2, problem solutions. Number 1, identify the problem, and number 2, provide a solution which will show the practicality of your proposal. For example, purpose. Persuade your listeners that the LGBTQ community should be protected from discrimination. Number 3, organize your persuasive speech. Problem, cause, solution. Number 1, identify the problem. Number 2, analyze the root causes of the problem. Number 3, provide a solution to the problem. For example, purpose. Persuade your listeners why the state of government needs to converge with the private sector in maintaining and protecting national heritage sites. Organize your persuasive speech. Number 4, comparative advantages. Number 1, identify the problem. Number 2, present at least 2 solutions to the problem. Number 3, compare the 2 in terms of practicality and feasibility. For example, purpose. Persuade your listeners why there is need for political reform. Letter B, main point. Politics in the Philippines is very dirty. Letter C, supporting idea. There have been a lot of anomalies and illegal transactions going on in the political system. Number 5, organize your persuasive speech. Monroe's motivated sequence. Alan Monroe, a professor from Purdue University, created an outline for making speeches based on psychology and persuasion. Here's how to apply the technique. Number 1, grab the attention. Then number 2, establish the need or urgency. Number 3, present possible solutions to your audience to satisfy the need. Number 4, help your audience visualize. Number 5, engage the audience to participate in promoting change through a call of action. For example, persuade your audience to abstain from consuming alcohol. Yan.
Entertainment speech. Entertainment speech is a speech designed to captivate an audience attention and regale or amuse them while delivering a message. Entertainment speech is to make the audience relax, enjoy, nod, and smile. As a speaker, you are expected to be friendly and relaxed, but still courteous during the speech delivery. For me, as a speaker, my goal is you feel comfortable and relaxed, but not totally relaxed. Because as a speaker, I want to know if you are interested with my thought or opinion. So what I mean is your feedback about I already said. Moreover, you should know your audience will in order to entertain them effectively. Like, how to make your speech entertaining. First, tell a joke. Tell when you say joke that is appreciated only by member of some particular group of people. Shared funny story. When your funny story is sharing a story that make your audience enjoy. Just telling a joke like one about story about yourself, friends, or family. Dramatize experience. When you say dramatize, it is composed in the form of drama to represent in a drama, to adapt to dramatic representation as to dramatize a novel or a historical episode. For example, is having nightmare or having a family problem. I think as we know that we are being dramatic when we supposed to be topic or family. If I not mistaken. Recall a scary story. When you say scary, it is about your fear, your bad memories with someone, or maybe it's one place. For example, yung nakakatakot mong story. Share mo, di ko alam kung ano.
Steps in writing an entertainment speech. First is choose a light topic. Remember, you are there to give the audience good time. So, magpili jud ka og topic nga nindot para makahatag kag kalipay sa mga audience nga nasa mong atubangan. Next is enjoy. If you exude confident and you obviously enjoy the moment, the audience will enjoy your presence too. So, imo rang i-enjoy imuhang moment sa pag-speech para like makuan sad sa audience ba ma-enjoy sad nila ang imuhang presence, like makita nila nga nag-enjoy ka sa pag-speech, so ma-enjoy na lang sad sila pagtan-aw. Next is simplify. Simplify the flow of your speech. Your audience does not need a mentally exhausting message. So, tarungon jud nimog istorya ang imuhang speech or tarungon nimog explain ang imuhang giistorya para dali ra masabtan sa mga audience gani.